right. Just got to wait for everything to click in as we get going on this live broadcast. Hello, my friends. Welcome to yet another edition of the Your Book, Your Voice coffee chat. Sometimes I have to think about it. Sometimes I do have to think about it because I have the Your Book, Your Voice coffee chat, which is what we're doing right now. I have the Your Book, Your Voice podcast, which I'm going to talk about in just a second because that's coming up later on tonight. And my audiobook coaching program is called Your Book, Your Voice. So I got to keep all that straight. Now, we are here together. Thank you for joining. This is the coffee chat version, which is an open forum live coffee chat I like to do to talk about the audiobook world. I am an audiobook coach and producer. I specialize in helping nonfiction authors turn their great published book into an audiobook. And the key component is that the author narrates the book themselves, right? If you're a nonfiction author, you need to narrate your own audiobook, all right? You need to narrate your own audiobook, hands down, no questions asked, all right? Wow, we have a great topic today. Audiobook narration? No time. I hear this a lot. Well, guess what? Not true. We're going to dive into this because I do want to talk about time management because it is important. But before we do, a couple of things. First of all, got to promote the Your Book, Your Voice podcast. And we have a great one for you happening tonight. This is a book coach. Her name is Diane Sova. She is a book coach. She's also a psychic medium. We're going to talk about that aspect a little bit, get some spirituality in here. Curious about it if you're curious about what a psychic medium is and what they do. But she is a great book coach as well. She's had an incredible history, worked in some pretty intense places. You'll all find out all about Diane tonight. So join me. Now, we do the podcast live, all right? This is live. So you can participate. You can call in. You can comment. So join us tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time, as we do it live. Go to the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel, all right? They have these little tabs. Click the live tab. There you go. So join me, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time tonight, as my, again, very special guest is book coach and psychic medium Diane Sova. You're going to be thoroughly entertained. I guarantee it. The other thing is that I do have a free audiobook narration reference guide, and you can grab that as well. There's some tools and techniques and tips and tricks and things that you can do to help you do a better narration when you're narrating your audiobook. Grab your free guide, download it. It's again, for those of you on Instagram, by the way, go to my profile page. All the links are there. Everything that you need. I talk about the podcast, the narration guide. I'm going to also put up the graphic about booking a call with me if you are an author and you're interested about turning your book into an audiobook. Matter of fact, I'll get that graphic up here for those of you on LinkedIn and YouTube so you can check it out. But on Instagram, everything is there. Go to my profile page, click on that link, and all the links are there for you to grab, all right? And the podcast, too, to join the podcast live. Now, for those of you on LinkedIn and YouTube, of course, we do have the, let me get rid of this one. We do have the links there in the description, so you can grab your narration guide. You can schedule a call with me. You can join the podcast tonight. I'll put the link in there as well. So it's all there for you. Now, again, if you are a nonfiction author and you've thought about turning your book into an audiobook, book a call with me, and I'll be happy to talk to you about the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program and what that's about, and get your book published on Audible, Amazon, and Apple in 6 weeks. All right, but let's talk about and dive into our topic today, which is audiobook narration. No time. I hear this a lot. So we're going to talk about time management today. All right, time management is important. I recently was a guest on a podcast. The podcast host was also a time management coach. So we had a really good conversation about time management. And I was telling her about the excuses that I hear from authors about not doing their own audiobook. And one of the biggest excuses is like, oh, it takes too much time. I don't have the time to do it. And that is such a false belief because you do have time. Remember this, and I always hit this home every time I get on here to do a broadcast, but it is important to, again, stress that you are an author brand, okay? You are an author brand. You are the CEO of you, which means you're the boss, which means you are in charge of the decisions that you make for your author brand. So make a great decision to move your business forward. That great decision is narrating your own audiobook. Okay? You have to do it. Why? Because nobody on this planet can replicate you. Nobody can tell your story better than you. No one. Not another narrator, and definitely not AI. Only you can tell your story, because that is part of your author brand. Part of your author brand is your voice, how you sound. It's not just how you write, but how you sound. So to preserve the integrity of your author brand, you've got to narrate your own audiobook. No one can tell your story better than you, period. That's why you need to narrate your own audiobook. Now, you do have time. You had the time to write your book and get it published. Why would that be any different when it comes to narrating your audiobook? There's no difference. So let's talk about time management. Again, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. We all do. So what is the differentiator from a person who is mega successful from somebody who's always struggling? I just can't get anything done. It is about managing your time. And the number one thing that I think will really help you out is just do a time audit on yourself. And the way to do that is to have a log, a notebook, something to write down, and you're going to keep track for a full 24 hours. And you should probably do this for 2 to 3 days, because you want to see what the data is, right? You're going to analyze the data. So the way it works is you grab a notebook for a full 24 hours, do it for 3 days. When you wake up, from the moment you wake up to 24 hours later until you wake up for the next day, what is everything that you do during the day? Log it, write it, notate it, okay? That's doing a time audit. So when you wake up in the morning, what time do you wake up? 6 a.m.? Great. 6 a.m., woke up. From 6 to 6:30, I grabbed my phone and I was scrolling through social media. From 6:30 to 7, I got up, took a shower, got ready for work. From 7 to 7:30, I ate breakfast. From 7:30 to 8 o'clock, I drove to work. Or maybe I still work from home, whatever you do. And then from 8 p.m. or 8 p.m., 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. or whenever your workday starts, from let's say 8 to 12 p.m. I'm at work. From 12 to 1:30, I took lunch. From 1:30 to 5:30, I was working. From 5:30 to 6, I drove back home if you drive to work. And then from 6 to 7, I made dinner. From 7 to 9 p.m., I watched Netflix. From 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., I scrolled through social media. From 10 to 10:30, I just read a book or something, whatever it is. From 10:30 until 6 in the morning the following day, I went to sleep. Okay, so there you go. That's one day. Log it, log it, log it. Next day, do the same thing, because you may not do things the same way. You maybe I spent 3 hours watching Netflix or 2 hours scrolling through social media, whatever it is. Log it, okay? Third day, log it, do a time audit. Again, full 24 hours. Don't miss anything, even the time that you sleep, because in that way, you now have 3 days worth of data. 3 days worth of data to analyze and see what exactly are you doing with every moment of your time. What are the things that are priority and what are the things that are not priority? You can even make a column list of that. If you're spending 3 hours watching Netflix, why can't you watch Netflix for an hour and take 2 hours recording your audiobook? Or even an hour and a half, right? There you go. You have the time and you block it out. Block out your time. Now, another thing that I want to also stress is that you don't want to overwhelm yourself either. You don't want to be creating a list of 30 things that you need to get done for that one day, because that list is going to overwhelm you and you're not going to be able to get it all done. So cut that back. When you are creating lists, I would say no more than 5 things, okay? 5 things. Top priority things that you need to get done for that day to move yourself forward, to move your business forward, to move your personal life forward, whatever it is, okay? Especially as an author. Audiobook recording is on that list, all right? Log it down. Start with the hardest thing and then take it from there, right? I call it the ugly ogre. The ugly ogre is the hardest thing that you need to do that's on your list. Do it first, get it done, get it out of the way. It just lifts such a weight off your shoulders, and then do the other 4 things that are on your list. And you might find that you have more time to get more things done. So instead of 5 things, you have maybe 3, 4 other things on your list. I can knock those out. Get them done. It is so much more efficient. When you are managing your time, you can get anything that you want to do done. You can get it completed 100%. So again, do a time audit, figure out what is really important on the things that you are doing and what are things that you can maybe change around and put something else in place of something that is more important, okay? That's how you get things done. That's why people who are successful know how to manage their time. And a time audit, again, is a great way to do that, okay? So let's toast to your time audit. Cheers. This is Coffee Chat, By the way, this cup, let's see, I'll show for you there on Instagram and YouTube and LinkedIn. Crimson Experiences is a guided meditation company. They have a couple of great albums out there. It's available everywhere. You can go to Apple, Spotify, YouTube, you name it. Great meditation albums. There are 2 albums. One is called A Guided Meditation for Stress Relief and Relaxation, which is a huge seller because, boy, we sure can use that. And then there's an also guided meditation for self-healing, which is another great one. So pick up a copy of those albums. Again, you can go to Apple Music or anywhere. It's distributed all over the place. So check it out. Anyway, thank you to Crimson Lane Experiences, who also help sponsor my audiobook coaching program as well. All right, so there you go. Time management is key. So that's the thing that I really wanted to share with you, is that you do have what it takes to narrate your own audiobook. You do have the time to narrate your own audiobook. It doesn't take 6 months or 6 years or 16 years or 60 years. It takes 6 weeks. And if you sign up for the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program that I teach, I will make sure you get it done in 6 weeks, because that's my job as a coach and an audio producer. And the beauty about working with me is that I provide you with the equipment you need to set up your own recording space. I am your coach. I am your accountability partner. I am your safety net. I am your guide. I am your support system, because that's my job, to make sure that you do a fantastic audiobook narration. And I will take you through the steps of setup and preparation, how to do a great narration, and then I will upload your audiobook to Audible, Amazon, and Apple. That's all part of the program, all right? And again, I do send you the equipment you need to set up your own recording space, which is yours to keep. So again, the first step really is just to book a call with me. So book a call. The link is in the profile or in the description here on LinkedIn and YouTube. Also, check it out on Instagram as well. Just go to my profile page and you can see the link there, which will take you to all these links. But go ahead and schedule a call. I'd love to talk with you. I do talk with every author before I enroll anybody, only because, I believe in personal connection. I want to make sure you resonate with me and I resonate with you. If it does resonate with you, let's talk about your book. I'll give you more details about the program, and we'll get you enrolled, and you can have your audiobook published by the end of the 6-week program. It's a beautiful thing. If there are any topics that you'd like to talk about in regards to the audiobook world, let me know. I would love to talk about it, how it works, what the process is, what do you really need to do to create an audiobook. Any topics that you have, I'd love to talk about them, because this is why I do this coffee chat live, very open forum, and I'd love to hear from you. Finally, one last thing I do want to remind you is to join me for the Your Book, Your Voice podcast tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. My very special guest is book coach and psychic medium Diane Sova. And she's got a great personality. You're going to love joining the conversation. Now, remember, we do the podcast live, so you can call in, you can comment. We'd love to hear from you as well. She's going to share some great insight about being a book coach and about her career as well, which is pretty fascinating. So we'll talk about that. So join me tonight. It's on the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel. You go to the YouTube channel and check it out. Again, to join the podcast live, the links are there on YouTube and also LinkedIn and on Instagram. You can go to my profile page and grab the link there. All right. So with that, my friends, I'm going to wrap things up here for Coffee Chat. Again, if there are any topics you want to talk about, just let me know. Comment or message me. I'd love to hear from you. So I'm going to toast to you for being awesome human beings. All right. This is Coffee Chat. Remember, BYOC, bring your own creamer. I would provide that for you. I really would if I was able to. But we're virtual. What can I say? And my final assignment to you, my friends, is this. When you're out and about in the world, smile at a stranger, say hello to them, give them a compliment, right? It takes, 5-10 seconds of time out of your day, but that small gesture of kindness can make the world a difference in somebody's life, all right? So be a life changer, especially nowadays. We need as much positivity in the world as possible. Don't be negative. Don't be a troll. Be a positive, good person, because you can change the world that way, all right? Let's say so long to our friends here on LinkedIn. I guess I should do it this way because I keep covering up my graphic. It's up there on LinkedIn and YouTube. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, follow, do the notification bell, all that stuff that every YouTuber tells you to do. But really, at least hit the subscribe button because I post things all the time. Shorts, and we have our podcast and the coffee chats and all these other great things. So we'd love to have you follow the channel. Same thing for you there on Instagram as well. Click the follow button because I'd love to be able to share as much information that I can to help you as a nonfiction author turn your book into an audiobook. All right. So thanks again for you there on YouTube and LinkedIn. We'll be talking to you soon. All right. Take care.